Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Diablo 4. Now every once in a while something slips past me, and thank you to my Discord community, specifically one member that sent me this today because I have not seen it. This is 10-minute video breakdown of the Necromancer, PvP, and the world boss. Now a lot of this stuff we saw tidbits during the showcase and during the trailers, but this is more unedited, longer runs that we can check out together. And I want to be as clear as possible, I have not watched this. I like actually doing real reaction videos instead of watching it and then rewatching it. So let's do it. Roll 'em.
Hey folks, you probably got a good look at Diablo 4 during the Xbox showcase. However, we have a little bit of extra footage that we wanted to show off just to give you guys a better understanding of the gameplay. Specifically, we have footage of the Necromancer, one of the classes they just announced, as well as some PvP stuff and a world boss. Joining me is Eric Tay. He is the Blizzard Diablo expert, so we had to get him on here to kind of go over some of the cool stuff that he noticed.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jake, and hello to all the fans. But it's really exciting to see more Diablo 4, of course. Seeing the Necromancer get revealed. Not my personal favorite class of the Diablo timeline, but I know there's a lot of folks that enjoy the class, and we're getting to see kind of just some tried and true, right? Some corpse explode and kind of going through a dungeon with just a golem, which is interesting because the Necro is known so much for being a summoner class, and we're gonna see some variations of the Necromancer gameplay throughout this kind of first clip. We'll kind of let this play through a little bit, and then I can get into some of the other
like this is low
stuff
level
in a little bit.
Looking at the gear, looking at the Necro, speed of the swing, I'm thinking that's low level. Now we're on the horse. We're on the mount. We gotta dismount. Let's see the dismount skill.
Now we're out in the kind of like open world. Here, different class kind of build here. You have skeletal warriors, you have skeletal mages. What looks like maybe teeth from kind of Diablo 2 or a variation of bone spear, as well as some cursing going on. We don't get context in terms of like what exactly each of those skills are. The only thing that I saw through these clips that we got are just more about the different variations for the summoning, which is the primary core of a necromancer. But I can kind of break some of those down. So the skeletal warriors that are kind of out there right now are probably either skirmishers or reapers. There's three variations: skirmishers, defenders, and reapers. The defender, which is the only tooltip that we got through this kind of gameplay, is geared towards having durable shield bearers with 15% more life. You'll see some defender skeletal warriors later in the later part of this clip, but you can upgrade it one of two ways. One of the ways, every 10 seconds your skeletal defenders will negate the next instance of direct damage they would take. If you decide to want to sacrifice it, which is one of the three options, you'll gain 15% non-physical resistance, but you'll no longer be able to raise skeletons. The skeletal mages, there's three options. There's shadow, cold, and bone. For example, with cold, as one of the upgrades, each time your cold mages damage enemies with their primary attack, you gain 2 essence. If you want to sacrifice the cold skeletal mage, you'll deal 15% increased damage to vulnerable enemies, but again, no longer able to summon skeletal mages. And then with the golems, there's bone, blood, or iron. In this clip, you're seeing iron, so I'll just break down what iron does. Iron golem will slam the ground and stun enemies, and every 5th iron golem attack causes a shockwave, dealing X% damage to primary enemy and enemy behind it.
Actually, maybe I don't want iron.
That's one of the 2 upgrades for the iron golem. And then if you decide to sacrifice the iron golem, you'll deal 30% increased critical strike damage, but you can't summon a golem anymore.
So if you heard that, if you sacrifice your iron golem, you will get 30% crit chance increase, but you cannot summon another golem. Again, gives you lots of build opportunities. If you, I don't know, I guess don't like summoning minions or having minions on your Necro.
I've never enjoyed the summoning aspect of necromancers, even though that's kind of what the class does. So it's kind of cool to have this passive ability. of trading off your summons to make your necromancer stronger, essentially.
That's what I just said.
What we're seeing in this clip is you have the defender skeletal warriors that I mentioned, as well as Iron Golem. There's legendaries that they're not picking up, presumably to keep some of that hidden. Although I know a lot of folks probably want to see what those are. And then you have either a bone spear kind of like variant where it is hitting the wall and then bouncing back and kind of making 3 bone shards, or like smaller bone shards. Don't know if that's an upgrade.
So sometimes the bone spear or teeth, I guess, whichever one it is, hits the enemy. Sometimes it hits the enemy and penetrates them, and then hits the wall and bounces back. So I'm guessing like probably like a 30 or 50% pierce chance.
For like bone spear or teeth, I'm not sure which one it is. That looks more like bone spear though. Or if it's kind of like a legendary effect that's like on one of the necromancer's items right now on this specific character.
One thing to just note, a lot of that information you gathered from a build that's not final. So like some of that could change, so don't take everything as gospel that we're saying. But anyway, back to the gameplay.
I won't. Visuals look pretty darn good, especially the environment with the snow, and you could see it kind of flurrying and dropping. Also the light as it hits the ice and cracks in the ice. Different skills. Blowing up corpses, bone spear, skeletons, golem. Doing this like drag and throw ability. Pick that up. Could already see it. It was awesome in previous games. I don't actually see the skeletons doing much. It looks like the Necro himself or herself is doing a lot of the damage. Base going out with a bone spear, corpse explosion. Looks like we're off Necro now and we're in PvP.
We're getting some PvP here, which is something they're kind of bringing back, right? It was pretty big in D2, but was absent in D3.
Yeah, like it's cool to see it come back. There's definitely a lot of folks that enjoy PvP. So don't know how it'll interact with, what end game or like mid game looks like, or what kind of rewards you even get from it. But cool. It does give that extra flavor of kind of builds and gear that you might want to use specifically for PvP that might not be necessarily good for PvE, but is catered to just fighting other players.
So that's a pretty cool combo. Kick and then leap towards them.
I need more time.
Barb is taking him out. Here. Source.
I need time.
Die. I like firewall. Chains the Here we go. Necro in the PvP field. Defenders in there. Teeth. Lot going on. I will say it looks like the fights are pretty long. To withstand a lot of punishment. I'm guessing they're all healing too. all the skeletons, or at least most of them, are dead. 2 left now.
All right, so the last clip we got is a world boss.
So here we go. So we saw some of this.
This boss looks pretty impressive, but you were noticing some similarities to other D3 bosses, right?
Yeah, just a little bit. You'll see later on, like in the clip, when it kind of does some summons, where like it summons some treasure goblins, kind of.
You see there, you got the Hydra shooting
from Diablo 3, where you take your puzzle ring and put that in the cube so that you could get this kind of like secret level. But yeah, it's a pretty big spectacle. Having a big boss out in the field with. I tried to count them. There's definitely at least 7 characters, but I think you can have up to 8.
The Hydra shooting.
As they mentioned previously, there's the kind of the goblins running off. It saddens me that they don't try to chase them to kind of kill them to get the gear that presumably they would drop. But hey, we're focusing on DPS on the world boss here. And I think the other one cool thing that I noticed
Treasure
is
goblins
it kind of
spawn
feels
off the
a little
world
bit
boss.
like Monster Hunter-y, where at the start of the fight, the boss isn't as beat up. It doesn't have as many scars, but kind of like over time, you kind of see a little bit more like cut.
There's another golem running around as well. I think it's bone. Might be blood. I'm not sure.
And a little bit more bleeding from the boss. But yeah, just cool to have an open area where you can kind of team up with other players and kind of tackle a big boss, and get some hopefully good gear.
Kill him. We're almost done. I want to see him fall and see the drop. These look good. That's the video. Get out of here with that. Stop it right there. There we go. What does everybody think? Does this make you more excited? Does it make you less excited? Let me know in the comment section below. I gotta say, 100% when D4 drops middle of next year, I am picking Necromancer. It's mine. I'll let you play it too. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you haven't heard, I've officially started a Patreon. Thank you to the first 40 members. Become an instant ARPG VIP and get Patreon exclusive content at the first link in the description. You will be in my Discord VIP lounge and get direct access to me with lots of other perks. Check it out. Again, first link in the description. If you haven't joined the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. We're approaching 1,500 members, great conversations every day. The idea is to create a gaming community that could jump from game to game together, so you never start the server alone. Link for that Discord is also in the description. I hope you all enjoyed 10 minutes of D4. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.